Hey everybody, how y'all doing today? This is Coach Garcia, and today what we are going to do is we are going to learn how to solve equations with variables on both sides, alright? Make sure you have something to write with, guys, something to write on. And remember, at any time, if you guys are either lost or don't understand, you can go ahead and go back and start all over from the beginning, okay? So, let's get started. Like I said, today we're going to learn what to do when variables are on both sides of the equal sign. You will be able to solve equations with variables on both sides. So let's take a look at a few examples right here. So how are they solving these problems? The main thing I want you guys to focus on right here, guys, is to make sure that you see that we are going in steps. So if you look at this first one right here, 3x plus 5 equals 2x plus 15, they're following certain steps. And we're about to show you a checklist that will show you exactly which steps that you are going to need to take. So, first thing you're going to need to do, and what I would like for you guys to do right now, is go ahead and pause it real quick so you can go ahead and write this stuff down, alright? So the checklist. First thing you guys are going to do is eliminate parentheses by using the distributive property. Next thing you need to look for is to combine like terms. So if you have any like terms, you need to combine those. And again, remember when we're talking about like terms, if I've got 2x plus 3x, these two terms are like terms because they both share a common variable of x. So that would, of course, equal to 5x. Once you've combined your like terms, you need to start by moving the x term with little brother, big brother process. And what we mean by that is, let's take a look at our 2x and our 3x as well. Little brother is simply just a smaller x value. So the 2 is a smaller x value than the 3. So we would say 2x is little brother, 3x is big brother. That's an example of that. The way you will move it is by using the inverse operations. So remember, we'll be moving across the equal signs, meaning you're going to have to do the opposite operation of what is happening already. Once you have done that, you're going to move the number with no variable using the inverse operation as well. Once that's complete, you would divide the coefficient of the x term on both sides. And again, remember, a coefficient is that number that is attached to that x. So in this situation, 5 is my coefficient. I would divide by 5 to both sides. And again, you're going to go ahead and see exactly what I'm talking about in this example right here. So what I've done right here is I've put the steps for us on the right side. Let's go ahead and let's apply those steps here. I've got the problem 54 plus 6x equals 14 plus 8x. My first step tells me to eliminate parentheses by using the distributive property. Well, if you look at my problem, I have no parentheses. So I'm done with that one. You can go ahead and cross that out. Next thing I need to do is combine like terms. Now guys, when I'm combining like terms on each side of the equal sign. So I know I'm going to need to do this anyways when I solve, so let's do it now. Let's check on the left side of the equal sign. It says 54 plus 6x. I notice there that there are no like terms on that side, so I do not have to combine anything there. Then it equals to 14 plus 8x. Again, there are no like terms to combine on that side, so I'm now done with that step. Then I need to start by moving the x term with the little brother, big brother process. So again, little brother, big brother, I have a 6x and I have an 8x. 6x is the little brother because 6 is smaller than 8. So what I'm going to do is I need to move this 6x over to this side. How? Well, it tells me by using the inverse operation. So if this is a plus 6x, I need to do minus 6x. And what I do to one side, I always do to the other side, all right? So we know that 6x minus 6x is 0, so it'll cancel out. I want to bring down this 54. And of course, we're going to bring down that equal sign. We're going to bring down this 14 as well. Now, 8x minus 6x equals to a positive 2x, so I'm going to put plus 2x. My next step says to move the number with no variable using inverse operation. So now, since I moved that 6x over to give me this 2x, we know we want to keep this by itself. So in order to do that, I need to move this 14 over. We're going to use the inverse operation. So since this is a positive 14, I'm going to do minus 14, And again, what I do to one side, I do to the other side. These 14s cancel out, of course. And now I need to do 54 minus 14. And that equals 40. Make sure to bring down your equal sign. Make sure we bring down this 2x as well. So the next thing we need to do is we need to divide the coefficient of the x term on both sides. So again, coefficient is that number attached to that x. And we know that whenever we're solving equations, we need to solve for x. So we need to get that x by itself. Remember, when you see a number with a variable, that means that we are multiplying it to that variable if it's attached. So in order to get rid of that, the inverse operation of multiplication is division. So we need to divide by 2. And again, what you do to one side, you do to the other side. These 2's will cancel out, and 40 divided by 2 is 20. So 20 equals 2x. Again, if you'd like to switch it around, please go ahead and do that. And we know that our final answer will also look like this. X equals 20. So, if that was a little too fast for y'all, go ahead and rewind it. Start at the beginning if you still need to. If not, let's go ahead and let's go on to the next problem. So right here, you notice I don't have my checklist, but it's okay. We're still going to talk about it every time we solve this. We know that the first thing we need to do is get rid of any parentheses. We have none, so there's nothing to worry about. Now I need to combine like terms. Well, if I look on the left side where it says 4x minus 15, I notice there are no like terms, so there's nothing to combine right now. Then it equals a 17 minus 4x. Again, nothing to combine. So my next step says to do the little brother, big brother process. So the numbers attached to my x's are 4x and then negative 4x. I know that negative 4 is smaller than positive 4, so I'm going to move this negative 4 over that way because that is my little brother. Remember, anytime we're moving to the other side of the equal sign, we have to use the inverse operation, which is basically doing the opposite. So if this is a minus 4x, the opposite would be to do plus 4x. What you do to one side, again, you do to the other side. So, negative 4x plus 4x will cancel out because it will equal 0. And 4x plus 4x equals 8x. Now, go ahead and let's bring down this minus 15, that equal sign, and that 17 right there. Now we know, guys, we want to get this by itself. So that means we're going to have to move this negative 15 over. Again, anytime we're moving to the opposite side of the equal sign, we must do the opposite operation. So I'm going to plus 15, and what I do to one side, I do to the other side. I know that'll cancel out. I'm going to bring down my 8x, my equal sign, and I know that 17 plus 15 equals 32. Finally, I want to get this x by itself. Again, we've talked about this before. When there's a number attached to a variable, and just like 8 is attached to x right there, it is being multiplied. So to get rid of it, we have to do the opposite operation. So the opposite operation is division. So I'm going to divide by 8. When I do to one side, I do to the other side. These 8's will cancel out. And I know now that x equals 32 divided by 8 is 4. And that is your final answer there. So just like I've said before, if you had trouble through it, if you got lost, if you didn't get the same answer, go ahead, rewind this video and start all over again, okay? Now, let's move on to the next problem. This next problem says 10x minus 22 equals 29 minus 7x. Again, guys, checklist. First thing on that checklist, and you wrote it down so you can refer back to it, is to remove any parentheses. We have none, so we're not worried about it. Then we need to combine like terms. 10x minus 22 has no like terms, so I'm fine on that side. 29 minus 7x also has no like terms. So we can get on and worry about little brother, big brother now. I've got a 10x and I've got a negative 7x. Negative 7 is smaller than 10, so negative 7x needs to be moved over. That is our little brother. Again, to move over negative 7x, I must do plus 7x. And what I do to one side, I do to the other side. 10x plus 7x is going to equal 17x. Now let's bring down this minus 22. Of course, bring down your equal sign, and let's bring down this 29. We know these have canceled out because a negative 7 plus a 7 is 0. Next, we know we need to get this 17x by itself. So I need to move this 22 over. When you're moving across the equal sign, remember you use the opposite operation or the inverse operation. So the opposite of minus 22 is plus 22. Remember what you do to one side, you do to the other side. These 22s will cancel out. And I'm going to move this 17x down, bring down my equal sign, and I know that 29 plus 22 equals 51. Now, we want to get that x by itself, don't we? And again, when a number is attached to a variable, it's being multiplied. So 17 is being multiplied to x. In order to get rid of that 17, we must divide it. What you do to one side, you do to the other side. So my x is going to equal 51 divided by 17, which is 3. So there is your final answer. X equals 3. So, if you got it correct, great job. If you need to start the video over again, go ahead and move back and rewind it to the beginning of the problem, all right? So now I've got a practice problem for you guys to solve, okay? Remember, we've got variables on both sides. In order to solve these problems, use your checklist. You need to refer to your checklist to help you solve these problems. Go ahead and pause the video so you can write it down and go ahead and solve it. Good luck.